Store shelves can run dry in days. We've already seen it with toilet paper, baby formula, and even medicine. Those weren't flukes, they were warnings. The global supply chain is hanging by a thread, and when it snaps, your survival will depend on what you've done to prepare. Welcome to Prepper's Paradigm, your channel dedicated to practical prepping and disaster preparedness. I use a computer-generated voice because my own is hard to understand due to an injury. In this video, we'll take a hard look at modern supply chains, how they really work, why they're more fragile than most people realize, and what that means for preppers. We'll cover real-world examples, hidden threats that don't make the headlines, and practical steps you can take so your preparedness plans don't fall apart when the system does. When one part of the global supply chain breaks, the effects spread fast. Think about the Suez Canal blockage in 2021. A single container ship stuck sideways delayed billions of dollars of goods, from electronics to food. It only lasted a week, but the ripple effects were felt worldwide for months. The same thing happened with semiconductor shortages. A few shutdowns in Asia led to car factories in the United States grinding to a halt. Farmers struggled to repair equipment because the chips for tractors and combines weren't available. Small disruptions snowball into major crises when systems run so tightly. A big reason is the just-in-time inventory model. Stores and warehouses no longer keep large backstock. Products arrive only when needed, cutting costs but leaving no buffer. When something interrupts that flow, shelves empty within days. Globalization makes the problem worse. Goods now travel through long, complicated routes that depend on a handful of critical choke points: the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal, major ports, and key highways. Any conflict, natural disaster, or labor strike at one of these points can slow or even stop the flow of essentials. This isn't theory. We've already seen it happen, and every sign points to it happening more often in the future. Some of the biggest risks to the supply chain aren't always visible. Take cyberattacks. Shipping companies, trucking firms, and even ports now rely on complex computer systems to track and move goods. Hackers don't need to shut down highways or sink ships. A single attack on a logistics network can freeze movement worldwide. We've already seen ransomware take down pipelines and food producers, and experts warn that these attacks are only increasing. Labor shortages are another hidden weakness. Without enough truck drivers, warehouse workers, or dock crews, goods pile up where they sit. During the pandemic, empty shelves weren't just about product shortages. They were also about a lack of people to move and stock those products. Severe weather also plays a role. Flooded highways, frozen rail lines, and drought-stricken rivers have all stopped shipments in recent years. Whether you believe the causes are changing weather patterns or just bad luck, the results are the same. Trucks can't roll, barges can't float, and supplies can't get where they need to go. Each of these threats on their own can strain the system, but when they hit together, the results can be devastating. And for preppers, that means even the essentials we take for granted could vanish almost overnight. Supply chain fragility isn't just a news headline. It directly affects what you can buy, eat, and use every single day. Think back to 2022 when baby formula shortages left parents scrambling. It wasn't that the ingredients no longer existed. The problem was a broken production and distribution chain. Families were forced to drive hours, check dozens of stores, or pay sky-high prices online. Medication is another overlooked weak point. Pharmacies across the U.S. have reported shortages of common drugs like antibiotics and children's pain relievers. When shipments slow or factories shut down, you don't just face higher prices. You may not be able to get what you need at all. Energy systems are vulnerable too. The Colonial Pipeline hack in 2021 caused fuel shortages and long gas lines across the East Coast, even though the pipeline was only down for a matter of days. Panic buying made the problem worse, and people quickly learned just how dependent they were on a single supply line. For preppers, these aren't random stories. They're warnings. Stockpiling helps, but it's not enough on its own. If you don't understand why these shortages happen, you can't know what to prioritize or how to adapt when the next breakdown arrives. Knowing the risks is only half the battle. The next step is adjusting your preparedness to deal with them. Start with self-sufficiency. Even a small backyard garden or a few raised beds can reduce your dependence on fragile supply lines. For those with less space, container gardening or sprouting indoors still adds resilience. Every meal you can grow yourself is one less you rely on a truck delivering to the store. Second, diversify your sources. Don't depend on just one grocery store, one online retailer, or one supplier. Farmers markets, local butchers, and bulk food co-ops all give you additional ways to get essentials. Some preppers also set up barter arrangements, trading skills or goods when stores run dry. Third, think in layers. Build redundancy into your preps so you're not dependent on a single system. Store food in multiple forms: can, freeze dried, dehydrated. Keep more than one way to filter water. Back up your power with solar, batteries, and fuel. If one layer fails, the next one keeps you going. This approach moves beyond just stockpiling and turns your prepping into a living system that can handle real-world disruptions. Preparedness isn't just about what you store in your home. Building resilience means looking at the bigger picture. Local businesses and producers are a lifeline when national supply chains falter. Supporting them now helps ensure they'll be there when the system struggles. Even small actions, like buying from a local farmer instead of a supermarket, strengthen the network you may one day rely on. Another layer of resilience comes from people. While many preppers prefer to stay private about their supplies, having a few trusted contacts can make a difference. Maybe it's a neighbor who raises chickens, a friend who works on engines, or someone who knows first aid. Skills and resources shared wisely can keep everyone stronger when supplies thin out. Resilience also means adaptability. If you understand how supply chains fail, you'll spot the warning signs early. That gives you a head start to adjust, whether it's stocking up on specific items, shifting your cooking plans, or finding new ways to meet your needs. The bottom line is this: supply chain collapse prepping isn't just about stockpiling. It's about creating systems, relationships, and habits that keep you supplied when the shelves go empty. The global supply chain is more fragile than most people realize. We've seen how a single ship, a cyber attack, or a factory shutdown can cause shortages that spread worldwide. For preppers, that's not a reason for panic. It's a reason to act. Stockpiling has its place, but true resilience comes from self-sufficiency, redundancy, and adaptability. The more you understand how the system works, the better prepared you'll be when it fails. Take time this week to look at your own supply lines. Where are you most dependent, and what can you do to strengthen those weak spots? Every step you take now gives you more control over your future when others are left scrambling. If this video gave you something to think about, hit like, share it with other preppers, and subscribe for more. And check out our website for deeper dives into prepping strategies and practical tools you can use today. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay prepared, and see you next time.